Hello and welcome at this new video about the secrets of being sober. So this video is one of a lot of secrets to stay sober, and today I'm going to talk about therapy. So for the people who don't know me, my name is Michael. I'm almost sober for 7 years now. And in Belgium, I'm a coach. I help people to stay sober, and that's what I do a lot. I have already made, I think, 250 videos in Dutch, in my language. And now, since a couple of months, I'm also making videos in English to help people to stay sober, to quit drinking alcohol. And today it's gonna be about therapy. So the day I stopped drinking, I was very happy because I had a serious problem with it, and the longer I stayed sober, I found more difficulties in myself. The being sober part was not really a big problem, but I felt there were a lot of emotions coming. There was a lot of things that I felt, and I didn't know how to handle it. So I think I went to the AA, to the Anonymous Alcoholics, for a couple of times, and it helped me because it's also a certain way of therapy. People talk to each other, they listen to each other, but I liked also to talk with people one-on-one. And so I started to search for people who could help me. And now in these 7 years that I'm sober, I had already a lot of different therapies. I did like therapy by talking. I also did therapy that people would give me massages, more spiritual therapies. And I think I almost did, 30 different kind of therapies. Acupuncturist, maybe it's a word in English, I don't know. So I did already a lot of things, and I'm gonna talk about why I love therapy. So this is a book I have in Belgium. It was my 8th book that I wrote, and it's about life, about alcohol. I'm gonna talk about a couple of things that I wrote down in the book, and it's also about like I love therapy. And I think in all these years that I'm sober now, I already did, I think, 5 hours of therapy. And sometimes when you say to people, I already did 5 hours of therapy, people are like looking at you like, okay, he's not normal or something. But I think everybody should do it. Every person, if you have a problem, if you don't have a problem, it doesn't matter. I think it's so important that everybody thinks about themselves, thinks about how they can handle their emotions and stuff. And one of the things a lot of people asked me was, why are you still going in therapy now? I feel good in my life. I have a girlfriend, I'm happy with her, I have a decent job, I help people to quit drink alcohol, I give lectures about it. But I'm still going in therapy every 2 weeks because it helps me to tell stuff that I can't talk with everybody. But first of all, I want to say, like, what is therapy? For me, is therapy a person where you can tell everything. Someone who listens to you, someone who supports you, someone who gives you a safe space, someone who lets you talk all the way. Sometimes you talk with people and they interrupt you, but your therapist, he keeps on, he lets you talk. It's someone where you can be yourself at, someone who can listen without judging, someone who gives you feedback, and also someone who gives you more clarity about your dark sides. And for me, this is therapy, what it is about. It's talking with somebody where you can be yourself. In our society, it's not easy to be yourself. You try to fit in, you do stuff that you maybe don't want to do, like drinking, and there's a lot of pressure to be someone. And for me, therapy was always like a safe space, a safety, where I can just be myself and where I could breathe, like, yeah. I have a hectic week and things happening, and when I came to my therapist, it was like, It's also the same feeling that I had when I was drinking alcohol. I have a busy day, I came home, I was like, I can drink my beer or my wine or my whiskey. But for me, this same feeling like was what I found when I went to my therapist. And so I think this is one of the main reasons I stayed sober, because I went a lot. One of the questions people ask me, do I also have to go in therapy? I am never telling to people what they have to do or what they don't have to do. I think it's very important to listen to yourself and to see what you need to stay sober. I'm a really big fan of therapy because it helped me a lot, and I help a lot of people, and they also go in therapy and they also are doing good in life. So I think it's a very interesting fact. If you have the option to do it, I should really I should recommend it to try it. Therapy for me is also about the judgment. When we are when we are talking with each other, people are a lot judging. You should do that. You should do that. Stop worrying about that. But then there's no room to let the things be. If you go in therapy, you can tell everything, and the person who's gonna listen to you, it's his job not to judge you. And for me, like, not being judged in what I was thinking was like so so different than I almost always had. When I told people things or ideas, it was like, oh no, don't be crazy, don't be stupid. And so therapy, it was a place that I could be myself. I'm going now already 6 years in therapy. And sometimes people say it's a weakness. You still need the therapist. Okay, I still need this. For me, I don't need it, but it helps me. But for me, it's a strength. It's a sign of strength. If you want to work on yourself, then you are doing really good, because you know that there are parts in you that you are not doing good and you want to do something about it. So for me, going in therapy, it's a strength. It's not a weakness. When we need help, it's not a weakness. It's a sign of being smart. It's you think about yourself and you see that you cannot handle it yourself, so you are smart enough to admit it to yourself, and then you have the courage to go in therapy. So it's very, very brave, and it's not a weakness, it's a strength. And for me, this is very important. When I go to therapy also, it always relieved me a little bit more. It's like you can see it as a bucket full of water, and of a bucket, I don't know how, so you can see it as a cup full of water, and every time I went to therapy, I let some water go. It was like always a little bit of relievement. And I am 32 years now, and I go already 6 years in therapy. I think I will go in therapy the rest of my life, because I just like it very much. Where do we talk about in the therapy? It's about everything that happens in your life. Sometimes we don't feel very good, and we don't know how we can get out of this negative spiral. For me, the therapist can handle it. When I have pain in myself, or when I have a lack of something, or when I feel frustrated, it can be very hard to take these emotions with you. So if I go in therapy, I talk about this pain, and then it always gets better. One of the things that I've done a lot was when I felt a pain or something that I didn't like, I always pushed it away, like, oh no, I don't want to hear it. Or like people said to me, you're an alcoholic, and I was like, no, I'm not an alcoholic, I'm not. And I pushed it away. One of the things I learned is if things come to you, if you feel things, you have to like take it next to you and listen to it. It has to be your friend. Most people, when they feel something they don't like, it's like, oh no, push it away, I don't want it. But it's the art to just to let it go, to let it be, and just to listen to what do you want to tell me. So for me, this is very important. Don't push it away. So for me, like I'm gonna talk about a little bit my life. Like 1.5 years ago, I had a really difficult moment in my life, and it was because I was always doing things. So I had an organization, I gave the lectures, and I also wanted a meeting room. So I had a meeting room in Ghent, where I lived in Belgium. And I was always doing, I did a lot of events. One of the events that I did was with Fia. It's an amazing singer. And this event was a success. The second week or month, I did another event. And I was always doing. But I felt I wasn't fulfilled. My soul wasn't fulfilled. And I went to therapy to talk about it. And okay, it was helping me, but I felt I wasn't fulfilled. So I felt there was something wrong. And my idea was always like I was doing stuff. And one day I asked the universe, like, okay, I don't see it, I don't know what to do. I'm always doing, I think I'm doing good, but I don't feel good yet. How is it possible? And then what happened, I went to a concert, and I will never forget it because it's 1.5 years ago. And I went to a concert, and next to me there was a woman sitting, and to the left of me and to the right of me. And there was so the person who does the concert says to us, yeah, let's meet the person next to us. And I'm sitting and next to me there's a woman, and she says, yeah, my name is Maria. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Maria is like the mother energy. And next to me I ask her, what is your name? And her name is also Maria. And for me it was like a puzzle that was coming together. And what was the puzzle? I'm gonna show it to you. So you see here, it's like a balance. And you can see here at the left, there's the man energy, and right is the woman energy. And the man energy is always doing, always going, ta-da-da, ta-da-da, bam, bam. That's what I do a lot. Like now also, da-da-da. And the woman energy, it's like caring for yourself. And it's also, what do you need? And why am I telling this? Because a lot of people are always asking themselves what I have to do, and that's a good question. But for me the question was always doing, and then I went to the other side and I asked, okay, what do I need? What do I need? And this is something that I talked about also with my therapist, and what do I need? And we started to focus more on that, and I felt I was doing too much, so I needed more rest, I needed to chill and to relax. And I had to really like always like doing in my head, da-da-da, I have to go to the feeling, like what do I feel, what do I need? And this is also like I can tell you, like, yeah, you can go in therapy, it's important, but what do you need? And I started to learn that as more that you give yourself what you need, the better you feel. For me, when I was drunk a lot, I didn't give myself what I needed. I gave myself alcohol, but what do I needed? I needed like that people were not judging me. I wanted to be myself. I needed some rest. I needed some space. I needed to breathe. And I thought I was finding it in alcohol, but the opposite was happening. So with that insight, like, instead of what I have to do, what do I need? My whole thinking changed a lot. And so now that's a question that I'm still asking myself a lot when it's not flowing or when I don't feel good. Like, what do I need? And if I don't feel good, I will always talk with people. Like I talk still with my therapist, but I also talk with friends now. And they are more listening to me. Like when I was younger and I asked a friend, like, yeah, I broke up with my girlfriend, what do I have to do? Or I don't feel good. They were like, yeah, you should go out, you should drink, you should forget it. But that's not what I needed. I needed just someone to listen to me. And for me, that's something that I still need a lot, is that people just listen to me when I don't feel good. It's okay. It's okay. I feel good sometimes, I don't feel good sometimes. It's okay. and I try to let it be. It's still a process. Being sober or going sober through life it's every day, it's a process, but it's also a process of a lot of fun. It's about being aware, about being conscious, who you are, what you are doing here, what do you need. So this is one of the many secrets to stay sober. You can always give me feedback on this video. I have already a lot of, I think 50 other videos online on YouTube, so you can always give me feedback. If you want something, you just let me know. You can follow me, subscribe, and I also wish you a very, very good day today. Bye bye.